Hi guys, I am the natural born thriller. And I want to thank all you guys, thanks guys, for coming out from PWTF New Year Rampage. Because it was Rampage, baby. That was Rampage, and AEW, that's how Rampage is done. And especially to you, to my opponent that I wrestled, which I needed a warm-up, an exhibition. It was a non-title match, obviously. What became of me facing a legend like a Chris Jericho, for me to face another legend for tomorrow night on PWTF Day of Reckoning 2. More of that later. But when it comes to Chris Jericho, 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 Trash, Tree, because the learning tree himself is the one I fought. By the end of the day, he became my Jera bitch. Yes, there has been some ups, there's been some downs when it comes to me and Jericho. And believe me, most of it was from me. I'll admit that. Less was from him himself. All because of AEW Rampage, where AEW Rampage wasn't the same after the first two shows. And some other shows were okay and decent and all that. You know, and it had some moments, it had some laughs in a way. But then it started going downhill, especially with Jericho being Jera Trash and Jera Ego on commentary. So atrocious, to say the least, on commentary, to a point where I couldn't watch anymore. And on that one night that he was not on there is when I made that tweet. And then that's when I got banned and blocked. And then I got, the AEW, bots, sickos, whatever have they, but they claim me being a bot. All that drama, and believe me, I've been through a lot of those dramas before. Twitter is a cesspool when it comes to that type of situation. Haven't gotten that lately, which is good. But nevertheless, Chris Jericho, who answered the open challenge to my match. Now I had to make some calls, I had to make some arrangements, I had to even just a little bit of playing a little bit of particular politic just to get Chris Jericho. And of course he had to agree on it. And he did. But the one thing that we didn't agree on, which I'm glad he didn't pick up on it, and I'm glad that it worked out that way, because I wanted to be to start off from the very beginning, not what comes to starting off from the end of the show. What I mean by that is, I wanted the match between me and Jericho to happen in the second match of the show, and not the main event. So Austin Wright, you're welcome for that main event that you pulled out against your mystery challenge, when it comes to your United States Open challenge, by facing Damian Hernandez and successfully defending it. And now you're going into PWTF Day of Reckoning 2 to do another one. And I'll be looking forward to see who's going to be your mystery opponent when it comes to answering that open challenge of yours. You've been on a roll, keep up the great work. Just like I've been on a great roll of me being the PWTF World Champion. But back to Jericho. I want our match to be on number 2. Kind of like how Jericho was number 2 from the 2003 Royal Rumble. Just like Chris Jericho was playing second fiddle card for WrestleMania 33 against Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. And I remember that particular podcast that Jericho did on his show, obviously, where he was upset that he has to be on number 2 of the card WrestleMania 33 against Kevin Owens. It was one of the biggest stories they ever did during that year, from 2015, or I'm sorry, I say 2016, going into 2017. And Jericho was upset with that so much that he decided he wanted to leave, and he wanted to go do bigger and better things. If that's all he was relegated to, in a way. And I wanted to show Jericho, being on the second card of doesn't matter if it's a WrestleMania or a Rampage or any other shows of that matter, or even when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling shows for Wrestle Kingdom, you can prove to the office, you can prove to everyone else that even though they'll put you at an early start, because if you're not last, then you gotta be first, but you don't want to be second. But you can prove you can be the absolute best at what you can do, because it's not what you are. You're the best in the world at what you do. And we have to prove it, that by facing each other, that we are the best that we can do in this world when it comes to being wrestling each other in the match of second card of the show for Rampage, the show that was more successful than any other AEW Rampage besides the first 2 shows. So, you and I went out there, and we tore the house down. We fought in the ring, we fought out the ring, we fought back in the ring. We took each other to the limit. You even took me to the limit, Jericho. You still got it. And no matter where you go, doesn't matter if you're going to WWE or TNA Wrestling, or if you're on just playing a ruse of the Century, right, Seth freaking Rollins? Then you go right back to AEW, or you're just done, and you just want to do your own thing. Which, by the way, to point that out, when it comes to WWE, TNA, AEW, yeah, I didn't book Chris Jericho, but we did in when it comes to PWTF, but more importantly, when it comes to the Asylum Wrestling Federation. So, we got that done, and boy, did I make Jericho bitch, my little bitch, because I beat him. Despite 2 core breakers and 2 Judas effects, I still ended up coming up on top. Sweet dream music, and it was all sweet dreams and a beautiful nightmare for Chris Jericho. Thanks for coming. Or should I say, thanks for coming, guys. So, now with that out of the way, now we focus on tomorrow night. And tomorrow night is PWTF Day of Reckoning 2 in Newark, New Jersey, where I face the so-called greatest of all time, John Cena. And John Cena, just to end this, all I'm going to say is, as I defend my PWTF World Championship title against you, just let you know, John Cena, the time has finally come, because the time is now, John Cena, because I want some, and I'm ready to come get some of whatever John Cena you're going to give me. So what John Cena are you going to give me, John Cena? What John Cena am I going to be expecting to face at PWTF Day of Reckoning 2 for my championship? Am I going to get the phony fake John Cena that gets bullied and that will give me absolutely nothing? Or am I going to get the phony real John Cena that's all about hustle, loyalty, and respect, who never gives up? I guess we'll have to find out. All you will have to do is to give me the John Cena that I want to face. And all you fans have to do is to tune in tomorrow night and find out what PWTF Day of Reckoning 2 has to offer and what's going to bring to the table when it comes to the main event and all the other matches that's going to be on the card. But more importantly, the main event is the one you need to focus on, because that's where the big money match is. Natural Born Thriller versus whichever Cena will gain, heel Cena or babyface Cena. Cena, don't let me down. Don't let the C Nation down. And don't let the fans of the Asylum Wrestling Federation, when it comes to the PWTF side, down either. And if you don't like it, beat it. Because no one wants to be defeated. And I refuse to be defeated from the so-called greatest of all time, John Cena.